It's the Date Master, and we're back. We're back with another one. Had to enjoy myself over this Labor Day holiday weekend with my people. Had a good time. We're gonna talk about some. We're gonna spin the block, if you will. We must address this simp culture. And just speaking from personal experiences, simp culture has affected my life somewhat, not too much, but just pretty much on an opportunity level. See, you're going to have those around you that they're going to fake like they're alpha. They're going to fake like they're red pill. They're going to fake like they understand or get the gist. And the gist is just the summary of what red pill and all of these ideologies represent. Some guys will never come out of their simp mentality. Most men, it's only when they say the top 10% of earners or the top 1%, it's the same thing in the male hierarchy from a social, financial, physical, and more so the most important mental dynamic of separating themselves from the bottom majority. Most men will forever be simps because they have built a lifestyle that is not complete unless they have a woman or in-house pussy. You have men meeting women on dating apps and social media apps and making them their girlfriend in 2021. 2020. You got men meeting girls that they never seen in person, never got the energy, and making them their girlfriends, in quotation marks. Better known as wifing them. This is happening in 2021. And I've come to the conclusion that some will not be saved. Some don't want salvation. And it's a few different factors that play a role into this mentality. You have to look at the order in which the child was born, how their mother raised them, how their father raised them, treated them, disciplined them. All of this stems from early childhood development. A lot of people think that people grow up and they're just treated a certain way because no. These men are designed this way from birth. They're designed. They never stood on their nuts. They never had to hold their nuts. They never been in a fight. They never had to hold their own by themselves. They always been coddled. And people ask, well, what's so wrong with being a simp? Simp behavior is very destructive. It is very distracting. It gets in the way of business opportunities. It gets in the way of execution of plans. It gets in the way of progression. Because you cannot find your higher self through a woman. A woman finds her higher self through you. I want to give a few ways on how to know that you're a simp or not. Give you 5 ways to know. The first way, you always have or need a girlfriend. Nothing wrong with being with one woman consistently. That's not the same as always having a girlfriend. That's being loyal and having great judgment of character to where you know how to pick a loyal woman. You find yourself swapping your girl out every year, every 6 months to a year, you're a simp. And you have poor judgment. How you meet your women that you wife or give preferential treatment to. You're meeting your girls on social media, these other apps, and you're taking them seriously without no physical interaction until after you've made her your girl. You're a simp. Always under female oriented or posts that are feminine or that speaks to feminine talking points. You're always in the mix of women. When women throwing slick shots, throwing shade at other girls, you have to put your 2 cents in. You're a simp. Because what does that have to do with you and your progression? Why are you in women business knowing that it's shady? You see it all day. Why are you here? Why are you here? Another way. You spend money to engage women more so than you spend on yourself or invest in yourself or things of I won't say quality, things that have meaning to them. Things that have meaning to them. You find yourself, you have all the money in the world for dates and all of this that regards getting you some pussy. When it's time to handle business, you have every excuse under the sun. You always look for excuses when called out about your bullshit behavior, when the woman is called to be the common denominator every time there is a issue. It's always a woman's fault. It's always a woman at the helm of the problem. You're a simp. These are just a few characteristics. You have these guys who do not know how to operate without a woman because on one end, their mother was never present, or their mother was uber present, spoiling them, coddling them, making excuses for every failure that they had. This is something that is created from birth. Because we live in a certain type of society, the black woman has an inept fear for her black son. And this is going to go mostly for the black males. The black mother has an inept fear for her black son's life, especially when raised in a certain environment, because of how society has made the black male, the heterosexual black male and black boy, public enemy number one. There's many reasons to that, but I'll get into that in another video. So these black women who have these children, these boys specifically, you ruin them by over nurturing them. You make too many excuses, and these boys grow into men, and they look for women to treat them like their mothers, or to treat them however they conjured up the idea of what a mother should be. If their mother wasn't absent, they lost their mother at an early age. It's a few different factors that play a role into the simp and beta mindset. To sum it all up, these guys just do not know how to operate without a woman in their life. And usually it's going to be driven by sex. Their sexual need and sexual desires trump all logic. It trumps accountability. It trumps responsibility. They have to make sure their dick is wet at all times. You must separate yourself from these type of men because they will do nothing but hold you back and spoil opportunities and options for growth. You can't give them the big ideas. They won't comprehend it because at the back of their mind, they're going to be thinking about pussy. The back of their mind, they're going to be thinking about their next lay. These guys will be given a simp card, and this is a permanent card, if you will. I wouldn't say permanent because you can always change, but at some point it's too late, and that's another area where men make so many decisions that it's too late to turn into your higher self. I've accumulated too much responsibility, children, baby mamas. I have too much going on to where this is my life now. Throughout the few months that has passed, I've taken a look into myself, and I've started to look at things a different way. I'm more humble. I'm more appreciative. I'm more thankful for those that are in my life, especially my parents, because you never know when it's time to go to the next dimension. I look at things from an optimistic way into an abundant way. So I may speak my mind briefly, but after I speak my mind, then the topic is going to be dead. The quarrel, disagreement, argument is going to be dead because it's too much more. It's so much more life outside of that small disagreement. But a lot of us fall into this simp mentality because we are afraid to be the best we can be. We're afraid of challenge. We're afraid of adversity. We're afraid of falling on ourselves. So we paint ourselves in a light that makes us look more grand than what we really are. This is what social media has done. No one wants to show the failures. We're talking like we're this and that, but deep down we're beta and simp as fuck. Deep down you're beta and simp as fuck. And you can't help yourself because you're spinning in circles. You don't want to challenge yourself and truly get out on the blade and see what you're made of because of the fear of flying, aka the fear of failure. Don't let your lustful appetites destroy you because you don't know what to do with a woman because you changed them so much. You don't know what to do. You're always changing women. You're always changing girlfriends in quotation marks because you do not know yourself. You need to take some time off, isolate, and learn yourself. And that will keep you from changing your girlfriends from every 6 months to a year. Now, that's different than having a rotation. Everybody's not the same. Now, if you want to have a rotation, that's something different. They'll fall off because that's what they're meant to do anyway. But you're taking these women seriously. You're investing, spending money. Then that's quote unquote a girlfriend. And if you're changing them out every 6 months to a year, you're a simp and you're a beta and you do not know yourself. And this will be your main ingredient for your own destruction, your own mediocrity, and your own complacency. And you'll get older and you'll be phased out to live a life of decrease instead of increase. It's the Date Master.